This news program is proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Now Biscuits.
Prime Minister Marape reveals Porgera Mine's first production. Connect PNG program clarified in Parliament. And PNG Nurses Association signs new medical cover. A very good evening. You're watching National EMTV News. I'm Grace Papiali. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister James Marape has confirmed today that almost all work is completed and few steps away from Porgera Gold Mine's first production. He made a statement following a series of questions without notice raised by the member for Myanmar Open, Solan Loifa, on the floor of Parliament this morning.
Prime Minister Marape says 2,000 workers were employed few months ago and preparation is in progress to reopen the mine. This was said when the member for Myanmar Open questioned the Prime Minister as to when the Porgera Gold Mine will be reopened.
That all necessary requirements, all legal requirements, all statutory obligations and requirements are almost complete. As I speak, the process of combining the SML and exploration license and environmental permit almost complete. The new Porgera Limited will be in custody of these three important statutory license or permit.
Prime Minister thanked Barrick New Guinea Limited for keeping the mine safe when the mine was shut down. He also announced that there will be 15% equity for landowners for the first time.
Their 15% stake as secured in the Porgera Project Commencement Agreement is not diluted. The 15% will not be, there will be no deduction on the care and maintenance, and there will be no deduction on that 15%. Unlike the old Porgera where they had to pay 5% into the project, this one they do not pay 15% into the project. It is free equity they sit. It's never been done before in many other projects. This is the first time, free equity 15%.
Marape also clarified on the 57% benefit from the Wafi-Golpu mine following a question raised by the member for Myanmar Open.
57% is the rounded off net gain for Papua New Guinean beneficiaries, not just the landowners. The entire Papua New Guinean beneficiary from Wafi-Golpu as negotiated.
Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Another significant step to the reopening of the Porgera Gold Mine took place today, with new Porgera Limited filing an application with the Mineral Resources Authority for a special mining lease and supporting tenements for the Porgera Gold Mine.
Ever since the closure of the Porgera Gold Mine 3 years ago, after the state refused the extension application by Porgera Joint Venture, there has been insurmountable disagreements and legal battles. Despite this, the Prime Minister James Marape has garnered the support of various parties to enter into negotiations and agreed to a recommencement pathway by way of signing various agreements. Today, one of the major steps towards the restart of the mine was taken, an occasion not lost on the mining minister.
This occasion marks a very special and important step in the regulatory process of reviving the old Porgera mine under the new Porgera Project Commencement Agreement, or PPC, or PPCA.
The mining minister, Mr. Pala, tasking the regulator MRA to fast-track the process.
This occasion, the lodgement of the new Porgera SML application and the supporting tenements applications commences the permitting process, for which I now ask my regulator, Mineral Resource Authority, to fast-track this process so that within the next 3 months we can see the new Porgera mine up and running to bring in the much-needed services and benefits to the concerned parties and affected people.
Chairman for New Porgera Limited, Ilatemu, also highlighted on the steps yet to be taken towards the reopening of the Porgera gold mine, now that the SML license was lodged.
There are a number of other smaller things that need to be sorted out along the way. And I think the main one we talk about in the release is the development forum. That's a discussion with the beneficiaries, the landowners, provincial governments, as to how they share their portion of the benefit that has been allocated under the agreements.
NPL paid an application fee of 680,000 kina for the SML license to be lodged, and while the mining minister expressed the process to be expedited, the Register for MRA gave an indication on the processes and turnaround time for the SML application to be approved.
Well, minimum, let's say 2 months, 2 to 3 months. Was there our process under the law, under the Act, allows time frames for certain processes to happen before other processes start. So obviously the warden's hearing requires 30 days before hearing can be conducted. It is an important process, part of the process of processing the applications, settlement applications for grant. So, and then there is a technical assessment process.
All parties are now focused on satisfying the remaining conditions under the new Porgera Commencement Agreement. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
Awarding of government contracts below 5 million kina ceiling can now be procured by district procurement committees. This function was transferred to the district yesterday during the swearing-in of the Esa-Ala District Procurement Committee from Milne Bay Province and the Telefomin District Procurement Committee.
National Procurement Commission CEO Mr. Simon Bolle says the function and responsibility of NPC has now been decentralised and passed down to the district provincial commissions.
Or receive any sum of money.
Mr. Bolle, while congratulating the new DPC members from Esala and Telefomin, said they have the responsibility to uphold the standard of procuring and awarding of contracts under the Public Finance Management Act.
At the end, somebody will, that contractor will deliver. So at the end, the people will look at you. You blame board members, yeah? Project failed. It's not delivered, incomplete.
He strongly encouraged the new DPC members to follow the stringent tender process when awarding of contracts and also to use the 18 principles of the NPC manual guided by the NPC Act.
We have customs out there and all this, but say no, it's a process here. It's something for the government, it's for the state. We have to make decision by the book, how it is there. That sometimes we have to stand for the process so that at the end, work must work straight. The right people will get it. That delivery part of it, quality delivery.
Meanwhile, the Second Secretary to the MP for Telefomin and Minister for Works, Delun Dentavi, encouraged both districts to perform their duties with honesty.
You know, there are times where, bidders will come heavily on you. Either you take under-table deals and leave the people suffer, or you go through the normal process, as Mr. Bolle has mentioned, and you see the tangible development at the end of the tunnel. So challenge is on you. Now that you were given that powers, as far as service delivery process is concerned at the district level, you are the key players of what's going to happen down at the district level.
The district administrator for Telefomin also echoed the call to do their utmost in their roles despite the temptations that may arise.
The justifications we've been using in terms of remoteness and isolation of our districts are now no longer being justification. Because now the functions of procurement from Waigani have now been transferred to our remote rural districts, so we can now perform what we have been always aftering in Waigani, we can now perform it in our various districts.
The decentralization of power to the districts gives opportunity to local SMEs to venture in developing the district in partnership with local DDAs. Rocky Iso, National MTV News.
During Parliament session this morning, member for Alatau Open Ricky Morris has raised the concern of the national government not rolling out the medium-term development 4 in order for provinces and districts to use as a guideline to roll their plans and functions. This question without notice was directed to the National Planning and Finance Minister Rainbow Paita, and Prime Minister James Marape responded. Member for Alatau Open, Ricky Morris, raised the question without notice to Prime Minister James Marape. He stated that during their provincial meetings, they could not roll out their plans of the province, districts and LLGs, which halt development plans to happen. To wait on the government for the rollout of the medium-term development plan 4 has taken too long.
In order for us to align our plans to the National Development Agenda, the National Planning Office needs to tell us what is the national government's agenda. The plans identify our unique challenges. The plans also gives us opportunity to tell the government our different unique challenges and opportunities within our districts and our provinces. On top of this, Acting Speaker, our data and our statistics are not updated because we are yet to undertake the national population census. And so how can we plan when our data...
Prime Minister Marape stated that a review will be made concerning the medium-term development plans 1, 2 and 3 as well.
In summary, but I want to also take this question to inform that we're doing a review in what has transpired or what we have achieved in the last 3 MDDPs, Medium-Term Development Plan 1, Medium-Term Development Plan 2, and Medium-Term Development Plan 3. Parliamentary leadership team will be established also. So that
he stated the 5 major plans.
As I made mention earlier, 5 major focus that will come out in this plan that we launch will be to improve on our infrastructure, including the much talked about Connect PNG, which is part of the infrastructure sector plan, growing economy and ensure that the economy reaches the 200 billion economy we've been talking about at the very, very earliest, where you in your districts or provinces can partner in a local program to expand on the economy. That is important. And of course, focusing on law and order, health and education in summary. But
National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National MTV News. Minister for Works and Highways, Solan Mirisim, has clarified that Connect PNG program includes all the 22 provinces in the country, even though some provinces are not listed in the program. He made a statement following a question without notice raised by the member for Popondetta Open, Richard Masere, stating why Oro and Western provinces are not in the Connect PNG program.
Member for Popondetta Open raised a question without notice, asking why Oro and Western Province are not in the Connect PNG program.
When can we be included in the Connect PNG? Because we want to contribute to the development and economic contribution in this country. Thank you.
Minister Mirisim says Connect PNG program was launched in 2020 and was fully implemented in 2023. He explained that some provinces that were not included in the program are still included in the rollout.
Connect PNG Papua New Guinea. So some names stable list, some names in a stable list. Mipla work singato list plo mipla to stop. Mipla looking one him hap mipla connect him. Na mipla work longen. Na mipla looking one him hap mipla road no stop or name no stop na mipla no connect him. And mipla start lo work long all these places.
Minister Mirisim assured the people of Oro and Western Province that they will be part of the Connect PNG program.
By me, Dr. Lo Secretary Lo today. Na after the session, by middle can meet. Na you tasola Governor Blo meet, Governor Blo you to law, Governor Blo Mibla to law, or to Northern Province to or talk to law this place. So, everybody saw them also. Some name stop list. Please me like asorim this house or some. You miss out lo connect PNG. Connect PNG, you stop. You got triple phase. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Now in 2020, we're going 2040. 20 years program.
He also clarified that Connect PNG program is carried out by the national government, while Connect districts comes under the provincial government and open members that are responsible for roads within their LLGs. Estagane, National MTV News.
The governor of East Sepik Province, Alan Baird, has raised a question without notice on the issue of carbon trade not being beneficial in Papua New Guinea, especially to the local landowners. Also on equal participation in the global carbon trade business. Minister for Environment, Conservation and Climate Change, Simon Kilepa, responded. With the queries on the topic of carbon trade being raised by many Papua New Guineans who are not benefiting, Governor Alan Baird directed his question to the Minister for Environment, Conservation and Climate Change, Simon Kilepa.
As you know, the April Salome program that has existed in my province for over 25 years. And I have been, again, getting a lot of calls from those landowners and other landowners who are interested in participating in the global carbon trade program. Now, I understand that there are already some carbon credits from Papua New Guinea being bought by various actors and players around the world, and we've all seen some of the reports that have appeared in social media lately.
He further elaborated on the issues of carbon credit and carbon cowboys and presented his findings.
The information I have suggests that Papua New Guinea has available right now a total of 9 million tons of carbon credits that can be sold internationally. The current price is approximately $15 a ton, which means that this carbon credit is worth about 540 million kina, if my numbers are correct. Further, the information suggests that over the next 5 years, carbon credits could be valued as high as $80 million. So that again makes that a very, very big number, Mr.
He then directed his question without notice.
There are protocols for verifying the veracity of these carbon credits? Number one question. Number two, who is responsible for doing that? Is it his department? Is it someone else? And number three, why has it taken us so long and we are still not participating in this global carbon trade? Because
in response to this, Minister Kilepa stated that once the Carbon Market Act has been approved, it will be brought to the National Executive Council for approval, and then the country can go into carbon trade.
We have the Climate Change Management Act. It has already been approved by NEC, and it is now with the First Legislative FLC, First Legislative Council. They are in the process of drafting the act. In that act, it captures the carbon market regulations. Carbon market regulations have already been drafted by CCDA, and we are waiting for the act to be amended in Parliament.
He said there is no compliance market for carbon trade, hence the country cannot sell carbon credits. At the moment, there is a voluntary market, thus the country cannot venture into any carbon trade business.
At the moment, there is a moratorium because there is no compliance market. All the companies, existing companies within the company to doing a carbon trade business in the country are operating on voluntary market. Voluntary market is not good for the country. We have to amend the act and we have to operate at the compliance market, Mr. Speaker. That is why we are not doing anything at the moment, because there is a moratorium. We cannot sell our carbon credits to carbon cowboys.
Meanwhile, during Parliament session today, the member for Ijivitari, David Arore, has asked the Minister for Civil Aviation, Walter Schnobelt, to make clarifications on the status of the Buca Airport terminal, where the funding has been allocated to revamp the infrastructure of the airport. The member for Ijivitari, David Arore, whilst on trip to the autonomous region of Bougainville months ago, explained that the airport facilities need proper fixing and revamp. With this, he asked the minister responsible for airports, Walter Schnobelt, to clarify if this issue of under-renovated airports, especially Buca Airport, have been looked into.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is that, Mr. Minister, Buca Terminal is very important for this country and the autonomous region of Bougainville. And so my question is that, has this government allocated any funds for the revamp and the rehabilitation of Buca Terminal? Number one. And number two is that if they have allocated money for the rehabilitation of Buca Terminal, when will the work begin on the rehabilitation of Buca Terminal?
The minister responded saying that the recent issues of the National Airports Corporation has affected the overall work process.
Miblol kita kila lo struggles that National Airport Corporation is facing right now and need lo leadership lo me. And recently, mi play seni simken one play new play MD, Mr. Quintao, and he go inside now. And Rex Kipongi has been officially terminated. Time mi play install him, Mr. Quintao, and me check him financial status lo National Airport Corporation. Na confirmation he come back lo mi as a minister, and we play got 200,000 kinata sol inside lo account belong National Airport Corporation.
He has revealed that the funds in the NAC account is not enough to fund any airport in the country.
I'm playing install him, Mr. Quintao, and me check him financial status below National Airport Corporation. Na confirmation he come back lo mi as a minister, and we've like got 200,000 kinata sol inside lo account belong National Airport Corporation. Lo Strait Airport, mi looking Buca, mi looking Olnarapla Airport too inside lo country. They're more critical. They need some TLC, some attention. But unfortunately, the financial capacity belong National Airport Corporation, allow him yet lo move forward.
The Nurses Association of Papua New Guinea has signed a temporary memorandum of agreement with Life Insurance Corporation Limited of the National Teachers Insurance for life and medical cover for over 4,000 nurses in the country. The signing took place today at the Nurses Association office in Port Moresby.
PNG Nurses Association President Frederick Hebai says since their contract with PHA Health Assurance Company got terminated on the 17th of March 2023, they are now signing the new agreement with NTI Ltd.
And now we are now moving on with NTI Health, temporary arrangement with NTI Health to look after the life of the nurses. At this moment, we got a number of debt with us, but how can we facilitate that? And it is only through aligning ourselves with an insurance company that have life cover license, and that is how I have made this decision on behalf of the executives and the members, so that NTIL within these 6 months can look after the lives of my nurses.
Group CEO for Life Insurance Corporation Ltd, Sanjeev Bhattacharjee, said the insurer will pay up to 40,000 kina for the life of the member and 5,000 kina for the life of the declared spouse in case of death from natural causes or accident. He said PNG-NA is responsible to remit the premium of 35 kina per fortnight per member to the insurer on a timely manner to ensure smooth operations.
So we will definitely see and we will look after all the claims, and when we are getting, and whatever we committed, we will meet it, because we have a very strong reputation in Papua New Guinea serving the clients and all the members.
PNG-NA executives and LIC management have been in negotiation for almost a year on insurance matters in order to replace the previous arrangement, which PNG-NA claimed did not deliver the level of service expected. Mr. Bhattacharjee said under the arrangements agreed today, effective from 1st of June 2023, LIC, upon the receipt of insurance premium, the insurer will be paying members and their families financial life benefits in the event of death, accident or permanent disability. The MOA ensures all legal aspects are taken care of by Bank of Papua New Guinea licensed and regulated insurer in a proper manner. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
And now we take a look at the Nest Fund market report. The Kina closed unchanged at $0.2820 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Kina was buying $0.2745 $0.4034 Australian dollars, $0.2476 euro, 37.9 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed lower, copra closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. Moving to overseas news now, and a federal court in Australia has decided on climate change hearings in the Torres Strait.
It is very important in a way because our island is one of the low-lying islands in the Torres Strait. It's made out of mud caves and mangroves, and as you travel through Saibai, it's more water than land. Through the years, it has been inundated and eroded with the weather pattern that has been changing through the time. And now it's become more severe in a way that really inundated all our garden patches, the adaptation, the hunting, our resting places of our loved ones. And in general, the whole island itself has been eroded, and it's not really in a good condition at the moment, if I can say that. So I think it's really important in a way that the court is taking place here, and they're looking at it visually and experiencing that, especially this morning. They're going around with the inundated areas to have a look at it where the erosion took place.
The first victims of the recent New South Wales fatal bus crash have been identified.
Kane Simons from Tasmania and Andrew Scott and his wife Lennon from Singleton are among the 10 people killed in the accident. It's understood Mr. Simons was living in New South Wales playing Aussie rules for the Singleton Football Club. His girlfriend and her mother were also killed in the crash. Andrew and Lennon Scott leave behind 2 young children. The 58-year-old driver will face court on 11 charges today. Police will allege he was not driving to the conditions and lost control while negotiating a roundabout. The New South Wales Premier, Chris Minns, has urged people to use seatbelts on buses in light of the deadly crash.
Former United States President Donald Trump lands in Miami ahead of his court appearance.
This is the Doral Golf Club, one of Donald Trump's many golf clubs, just on the outskirts of Miami. Now, the former president flew here from New Jersey at another golf club where he often spends time in the American summer. There was a sense of deja vu with the cable networks really tracking his every move, tracking his motorcade and his journey on his private plane here. Now, security is tight in Miami, but when we were at the court a couple of hours ago, there were actually more media noticeable than any supporters or opponents of Donald Trump. But what the Miami police are saying is that they are prepared for 5,000 people, they're prepared for 50,000 people. They're just not sure what kind of showing there's going to be. Donald Trump has said to his supporters, "See you in Miami." Some other Republicans have used more forceful language. So authorities here are certainly giving the message that they're very much prepared for tomorrow.
The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says his forces are making progress on the battlefield.
Kyiv says its troops have recaptured some villages from Russian forces in the southeast since launching its long-anticipated counter-offensive last week. Moscow has yet to officially acknowledge any Ukrainian advances, but Mr. Zelensky says gains have been made.
The battles are fierce, but our movement is underway, and that is crucial. The enemy's losses are exactly what we need. And although the weather these days is unfavourable, the rains complicate our tasks. Nevertheless, the strength of our soldiers yields results, and I am grateful to each and every one who is currently in combat.
The United Nations have announced the formation of an artificial intelligence watchdog.
Generative AI technology has captivated the public since ChatGPT launched 6 months ago and became the fastest growing app of all time. The UN has announced plans for a high-level AI advisory body to review governance arrangements and offer recommendations on how they can align with human rights, the rule of law and the common good. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres says warnings on AI must be taken seriously.
Alarm bells over the latest form of artificial intelligence, generative AI, are deafening. And they are loudest from the developers who designed it. The scientists and experts have called on the world to act, declaring AI an existential threat to humanity on a par with the risk of nuclear war.
National MTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The 2023 Pacific Games, which is only 5 months away, will be hosted in the Solomon Islands. Team PNG is expected to take a huge contingent with more than 20 sporting federations.
Team PNG to this year's Pacific Games is expected to take a huge contingent from more than 20 sporting codes affiliated to PNG Olympic Committee and the PNG Sports Foundation. Due to COVID-19, athletes were unable to travel and train in preparations for the Pacific Games since 2019 to 2021, but were asked to train in their various homes or training area. In 2022, slowly athletes were able to travel out of the country, as well as travel around the country to attend various sporting events, especially the national championships. This led to national events being used to identify top athletes for various codes. Recently, the Taurama Aquatic Center has been busy with athletes from various codes attending training as part of their preparations. Currently, more than 20 affiliated sporting clubs are in training. While Team PNG has won most of the Pacific Games hosted on home soil, the team is hoping to take the win on foreign soil this year. The 2023 Pacific Games, which is only 5 months away, will be hosted in Solomon Islands come November this year. Amanda Ilaitia, Trukai Sports.
With the playoffs looking good as teams go head-to-head, the Port Moresby Rugby League is well into its 9th week of round 1. 74 years and the league holds strong to its legacy.
For the under-20 games, Gulf West beat Hawla Flies 12-6 points, the Butterflies downed Defence 10-4, the HP Hogs topped Cornerstorms 10-0, and the Paga Panthers won Tarangao 8 by 4 points. In the Women's League, Hawla Flies with 16 points beat Gulf West with 4, Butterflies with 18 defeated Defence with 6, Royals downed Magani 32-0, and Paga Panthers beat Tarangao 14-6 points. In the Seniors A grade, Gulf West beat Hawla Flies 10-6 points, the Butterflies with 12 downed Defence with 4, and the Dobo Warriors beat Kone Tigers 12-6 points. Competition manager and league administrator Mackenzie Minor reiterated that the Port Moresby Rugby League is still going strong with its legacy.
Port Moresby Rugby League really struggles for sponsorship support for its games operations. That doesn't hinder the games from continuing. Whether there's a national election, whether there's a public holiday, or whether there are all other issues, Port Moresby Rugby League doesn't stop. We have a legacy that we must pursue and we must continue and we must carry through.
Natasha Ovoy, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. To overseas sports now. In AFL, the Melbourne Demons have held off a fast-finishing Collingwood Magpies by 4 points to claim the win.
Despite some very poor kicking in front of goal, the Demons snapped the Magpies' 8-match winning streak with an 18-66 to 9-8 62-point victory at the MCG. That saw Collingwood have that eight-game winning streak snapped, and of course they were on top of the table. Probably the best two teams in the comp if you have a look at them right now, and Simon Goodwin's men looked home and hosed until goals late in the piece from Brody Mychek and Nick Dacos kept the game alive. The Magpies were back to within a kick, but there was no fairy tale this time for the comeback Kings as the Demons hung on in the final exchanges. Melbourne forward Bailey Fritsch, he was brilliant, kicking 3 goals in the low-scoring affair, and Jack Viney was adjudged best of field with 32 disposals.
The Netherlands men's hockey team have defeated Australia 5 points to 2 in the Hockey Pro League game.
The Dutch bounced back after dropping the first game to the Kookaburras 7-2. Australian midfielder Tom Craig, though, says the 2-game series has showed his team can match it with the world's best.
In tennis, Nick Kyrgios finally gets back on the tennis courts tonight as he starts his preparation for Wimbledon.
I almost didn't realise he hasn't played a match since back in October, of course. He was a late withdrawal at the Australian Open because of that knee injury. He's since reportedly suffered a gash to his leg in what was the attempted stealing of his car over in Canberra, and that resulted him in not being able to play the clay. But he will play against China's Wu Weibing in the Stuttgart Open tonight. He is finally back a year after he made it all the way to the final against Novak Djokovic, who of course won that 23rd record-breaking slam at the French Open over the weekend.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
The weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, possible evening showers, then cloudy. Daru, evening rain showers, drizzles, then cloudy. Kerema, occasional evening rain showers, then cloudy. Alatau, frequent rain showers and possible thunderstorms, then cloudy. Popondetta, evening rain showers and possible thunderstorms, then cloudy. In the Momasa region, Lay City, few evening showers and possible thunderstorms, then cloudy. Madang, partly cloudy with brief showers tonight. Wewak, occasional evening rain showers and possible thunderstorms, then cloudy. Vanimo, evening rain showers and possible thunderstorms, then cloudy. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, partly cloudy with few evening showers and possible thunderstorms. Kaviang, occasional rain showers and possible thunderstorms, then cloudy. Kokopo and Rabaul, mostly fine, partly cloudy with brief showers tonight. Kimbe, partly cloudy with possible evening showers and thunderstorms. Buca, occasional evening showers and thunderstorms. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, rain showers and possible thunderstorms, then low cloud basis. Goroka and Kundiawa, evening rain periods with possible thunderstorms, then low cloud basis. Mendi and Wabeg, rain showers, drizzles and possible thunderstorms, then low cloud basis tonight.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Tuesday, the 13th of June, 2023. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.